Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gordon. We are back with another video. Today we're looking at a SUI update. As always, before we get into the content, if you get any value out of this video, please make sure to smash a thumbs up on it below, hit that subscribe button, smash that bell notification icon, and don't forget to grab your completely free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin. It's linked below the video in the description down below. Go ahead and grab it, and let's talk about SUI. So we've covered SUI pretty extensively on the channel here for the past year and a half, and essentially what we've seen over the past number of weeks is a very strong pullback with regards to price action on SUI. And again, most of this has been driven by Bitcoin pulling back. If I bring up the Bitcoin chart here, since those middle of January highs at about $109,000, we've seen Bitcoin pulling back, dropping as low as 78,000 here on the 28th of February. But most of that was leading to alts just like SUI pulling back even harder over that time period. If we measure this on the Bitcoin chart very quickly, this is about a 28% drawdown from those January 20th highs to the low here on the 28th of February. And if we look at that and compare it to SUI, just condensing the chart a little bit here, measuring those highs of about 537 all the way down to these lows, it's a 57% retracement. And we're really not that much higher right now. We're still down about 53% from those SUI all-time highs. So again, if you're not familiar, guys, SUI is a layer 1 blockchain. It reminds me a lot of Solana from the last cycle, and we're starting to see and have been using and made plenty of videos on the channel as well about all of the different protocols that you can use on top of the SUI network. We've made videos about CETA DEX. We've made videos about both SUI Lend and Navi protocol, two lending and borrowing protocols on the SUI blockchain, and we've covered SUI extensively over the past year. So if you're super interested in SUI, make sure to subscribe below and you'll get updated on all the latest SUI content. So again, what we're seeing is SUI emerging as a highly efficient, scalable blockchain that can process hundreds of thousands of transactions per second and making it a real competitor to Solana in the layer 1 space. So what are we seeing in terms of price action? Well, obviously we're back down at $2.50 at the time of recording this video. That is 53% from those all-time highs back from that first week in January. But what we see here over the past week or two in particular is we saw SUI breaking below the 200-day simple moving average here for the first time around the 27th of February. We tried to get back above it. This particular green candle was actually the result of the tweet from Donald Trump about a strategic crypto reserve, followed by a very big sell-off, an engulfing red candle pulling us back down below the 200-day simple moving average on that Monday, March 3rd. And from there, we started to kind of consolidate. We actually wicked all the way down to about $2.26. So looking at this level here, I was thinking we could actually pull back all the way down to this area as soon as we broke below the 200-day simple moving average. If we look at that from a fib retracement perspective, you can see it's lining up pretty seamlessly with the 382 fib retracement level here on the chart. And if you had been putting in some limit orders to purchase some SUI in this particular area, congratulations to you because you've bought these local lows. What's happened since then? Well, essentially over the course of the past week or so, we also had a bit of a bounce here. And on the 6th of March in particular, we saw an announcement about World Liberty Fund, World Liberty Financial, essentially partnering with SUI to add them as an asset and to create a strategic SUI reserve potentially, for the World Liberty Financial Fund. So again, that partnership news led to this large green candle. We actually wicked all the way back up to about $3, getting back above the 200-day simple moving average momentarily before closing back down here around $2.74. And we've continued back lower since then. So again, we're not out of the woods just yet. A lot of what's going to happen here over the next few weeks for SUI, I think is going to be driven by Bitcoin. If Bitcoin can hold above 86 and continue marching back towards 90,000 as we approach the end of March, maybe we will see SUI continuing to consolidate in this area, and we do need to see it reclaim the 200-day simple moving average before getting back up, maybe somewhere in the region of about $3.60 to get back above this next major level of resistance after we get back above the 200-day. So let's wait and see what happens, but there could still be buying opportunity here to scoop up some SUI between 220 and 230. Again, we could easily come back down into this particular zone over the next week or two to test this area again, and it might happen before we get a bounce and a move back to the upside. Again, this is not guaranteed, but if you're someone who's been looking to scoop up some SUI, not financial advice, guys, these prices around $2.50, more than 57% down from those all-time highs, may not be a bad area to do that. And if you want to scoop it up even lower, I would consider setting up some limit orders, maybe between 220 and 230 in this particular zone. We might come back down into it to retest that level of support before we get a bounce. Again, I think some of this will be predicated by what happens with Bitcoin, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, but this is looking pretty nice in terms of a support area for SUI. We've already come down into it. We might test it one more time before moving back to the upside. So that is a quick update, guys, on SUI. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time here, but I've done a ton of videos about SUI on the channel. Again, I think there's a lot of potential here with SUI over the course of 2025. Finally, maybe just to close out the video, I will bring up the SUI dominance chart. Again, what you're seeing here is how SUI dominance has been increasing over the course of the second half of 2024 and into 2025. So again, this is essentially SUI gaining an increasingly larger market share in terms of the overall crypto market. And obviously with price retracing over the past few weeks, we have seen that move to the downside. You can see we're also flirting and hanging around the 200-day simple moving average on the SUI dominance chart as well. But at its peak, SUI did get all the way up to a 0.48% dominance level. We're back down below 0.3 at the moment. We're at about 0.28%. But again, if we can see some consolidation in this zone, if we can reclaim the 200-day simple moving average, I think we will see much more growth with SUI dominance over the coming months. Again, not financial advice, guys. If you're someone who's actually tested out SUI, if you've used SUI, a SUI wallet, if you've used SUET, if you've interacted with protocols like Cetus, Navi, and SUILend, you will understand just how quick and snappy and how efficient the SUI blockchain is. Transactions get approved in milliseconds. Everything is super quick, super reliable, and I rarely run into any issues when approving transactions and using self-custody wallets to execute swaps and trades on the SUI blockchain. It is extremely efficient, extremely cost-effective, and I think it is going to pose a threat to Solana and be a competitor ultimately in this layer 1 blockchain space over the coming years. So again, not financial advice, guys. Check it out for yourself. Again, looking at the chart of SUI, just zooming out and looking at the big picture, we've had a pretty big journey in terms of growth over the past couple of years for SUI's price action. Again, I'd love to see us holding in this area before potentially getting a little bit of a reversal of the trend and moving higher as we move towards Q2, Q3, and Q4 of 2025. Again, guys, today's video is sponsored by Femex, the most efficient crypto trading and investment platform. I'm leaving a link for Femex in the description below this video. Go over there, check it out for yourself. Not financial advice. Of course, investing in these types of assets, even SUI, is very speculative. These are highly volatile assets. Make sure to do your own research. Check out both the technicals on the charts as well as the fundamental analysis to understand what type of volatility you're dealing with here. Always do your own research, proceed with caution. And again, guys, if you got any value at all out of this video, I would really appreciate if you hit that thumbs up button before you leave. It helps with the algorithm. It helps to spread the good word, and it would mean the world if you smashed that thumbs up button. Make sure to subscribe, smash that bell notification icon as well. And don't forget to grab your completely free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin. It's linked below the video down in the description. Grab it now, and we'll catch you in the next one.